Ali Velshi, just getting into Israel took a lot of effort. Describe how you got into the country and what it is you found when you did.
So when we determined that we were coming in here, the flights were being canceled. You couldn't fly into Tel Aviv. The most logical place to fly into if you're not going into Tel Aviv is Amman, Jordan. In a normal world, that would be a 2-hour drive, allow for a little time at the border, which is generally quite efficient, maybe 2.5 to 3 hours tops. It took us the better part of the day. We left Amman, Jordan at midnight last night, Eastern time, and it was 8 hours or something like that before we were here. The border crossings are very tight. This city, Tel Aviv, it's late, but this is a vibrant city in which there would normally be people, taxis. There's one car here. There's buses that keep going by. They're entirely empty. Let me tell you what we've been hearing here. There have been jets flying by. About an hour ago, we heard 8 successive Iron Dome interceptions here. We do know that this is the time of night where rockets are coming in from Gaza. This has happened for the last couple of nights, and that airstrikes are going into Gaza. Last night, the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, say that they hit 500 Hamas targets in Gaza. Now, in doing that, Gaza is a very, very densely populated place. A lot of apartment buildings. They've been targeted apartment buildings, office buildings, and mosques, saying that they had great success in doing what they wanted to do, but civilians were killed. So Hamas has responded by saying for every one civilian killed in these Israeli attacks, they will execute one hostage. Now, that's what they've said. Israel has said they're going to implement an entire siege on Gaza. Gaza gets its fuel, its food, everything it needs, really, through Israel. The electricity in Gaza is provided by an electrical generation plant that works on diesel fuel. They're cutting off fuel and water to Gaza. Gaza's probably got 2 days left, maybe 3 at best, of fuel to generate electricity, after which there's no actual fuel, there won't be fuel to drive, and there will not be any electricity there. Israel has called up 300,000 reservists. Never before in its history has anything like that happened. In fact, they're not all in the country, so El Al has established flights to bring reservists to Israel. Israel's also preparing for a fight on 3 sides. There's been an ongoing kinetic situation in the West Bank, and that is escalating right now. There's no army in the West Bank. The Palestinian Authority is there. That is sort of stochastic violence that's occurring there. In the north, there's trouble from Lebanon with Hezbollah potentially. There has been an incursion today. It's very small. The Israelis have fought that back. And, of course, in the south. So Israeli civil defense authorities are telling Israelis all over the country, have yourselves at least 3 days worth of water and non-perishable goods available to you in anticipation that this war could spread. That's a 3-front war. Israel had to call up reserves just to deal with the situation in the West Bank over the last 10 months. Now they're calling up 300,000 more reserves. So right now, in this country and in Gaza, a very, very dangerous, stressful, intense situation, Alicia.
Rick Stengel, Ali Velshi alluding to the remarks we heard from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. You have spent quite a bit of time with Netanyahu. What stood out to you from those remarks?
Well, he has always conveyed a sense of being a staunch and strong leader. But that brand is more undermined by this than anything that's happened during his long time as prime minister. He's the longest prime minister in Israeli history. Remember, his brand was, I am resolute against violence, never trust the Palestinians. And part of what he did in Gaza was he hoped that Hamas would be decent leaders of Gaza. He helped people from Gaza get passes to work in Israel. They relaxed their guard in Gaza. They had recently increased the number of military on the West Bank, taking troops away from Gaza. And this was an enormous intelligence failure by someone who had been intimate with the intelligence community his whole political life.
Right, Ben Rhodes, and that is the question that we keep returning to. How is it possible that this happened? The intelligence failure, the internal politics within Israel itself, the regional dimension. Talk us through it all, how we arrived at this moment.
Well, I think there's a question of the intelligence failure and the planning around this attack, and then the broader context of why is this happening now? Right. In terms of the intelligence failure, I think what's so striking about this is, as Ali was saying about the electric grid, you could say the same thing about the internet, for instance, in Gaza. It's entirely Israeli controlled. So for Hamas to do something, they must have taken many months to plan this. And to have pre-positioned capabilities, pre-positioned operatives for a land, sea, and air attack like this in a coordinated fashion, they were clearly able to do many months of planning in ways that avoided what people had assumed was a very intrusive Israeli intelligence capability. So just in terms of a practical matter, this says something about Hamas's capabilities and Israel's lack of understanding of those capabilities that tragically emerged in the last few days. I think the timing is also interesting. Why is Hamas doing this now? As Rick alluded to, there's been some analysis recently that perhaps Hamas was more focused on governing and maintaining control in the Gaza Strip than its kind of stated objective of violent resistance to Israel. Well, clearly, Hamas is showing that its true colors are the kind of brutal terrorist attacks that we've seen, the desire to take the fight into Israel. Why are they doing it now? We don't know. Only Hamas knows. I think the dynamics we have seen in this region are one, perhaps there was a feeling that as the Israeli government, this kind of far-right government, was kind of focused on its judicial overhaul at home and there were divisions in Israeli society, perhaps Hamas thought that that was a time to make a move. The Palestinian Authority has been badly weakened. It's corrupt. It has an old leadership. And similarly, I think Hamas may have thought Palestinian Authority is not delivering anything for the Palestinian people. There's no movement towards a Palestinian state. The leadership has lost the trust of the people. We want to establish ourselves as the vanguard of Palestinian leadership. And then the last dynamic, Alicia, is an important one, which is these normalization talks that have been happening, where essentially Israel has been engaged in a series of normalization agreements with countries like the UAE and Bahrain and others, and negotiating, importantly, with the Saudis, a normalization deal that essentially cut out the Palestinians. And I think that Hamas probably felt like they had an incentive to both spoil that normalization deal with Saudi Arabia, because it's going to be very hard for the Saudi leadership to make a deal with Israel in the context of this war with the Palestinians. And it's, I think, Hamas saying we don't like where the status quo is going in this region, and we're going to be heard from. And tragically, the means through which Hamas does that is the kind of horrific violence that we've seen. And tragically for the Palestinian people in Gaza, that's starting a cycle of violence in which innocent Israelis and Palestinians are the ones who are going to suffer the most.
Right. And Ali Velshi, is one of the reasons that I am so grateful that you are there for us in Tel Aviv, because it is hard to wrap your mind around the humanitarian crisis that is currently unfolding, what has already transpired and what is likely to transpire in the coming days.
Alicia, you cannot wrap your head around this. You cannot wrap your head around what happened on Friday night into Saturday. It's a horrific. It would take a normal person years of therapy to just understand and process that. And we're still seeing images and pictures. Now we are seeing yet more rockets on either side. And here's the difficulty. There is a lot of justified anger at Hamas for what has happened here. But there are people who are now calling for the collective punishment of the Gazans. Now, this is important to remember. That is a war crime. You cannot punish a Gazan child or a Russian child for the invasion of Ukraine. Cannot do that. That is against the Geneva Convention. It's against the law. Israel has called for that, and it's getting support for that. Now, in the wake of what happened on Friday night and Saturday, one can understand the emotions running high and the sympathies for that. But Gaza is... I've been inside Gaza. It's one of the worst places on earth on a good day to start with. It's about to get, I don't even know what the expression is. You can call it hell on earth if you want. It's about to get a lot worse. We already think 120,000 people are displaced from their homes because of the attacks of the last few days. You can't get out of Gaza. People, I've seen people on Twitter saying, why don't they leave? You can't leave Gaza. You cannot leave Gaza. It is, you are encircled by Egypt and Israel. We don't know what Egypt's going to be doing in this whole thing, but there is a humanitarian disaster that will set in this week if there are no more attacks. By shutting off the water, the electricity, and the diesel fuel, that will already be a humanitarian disaster, and more people will get killed. But this isn't stopping. The rockets keep coming in from Gaza, and the F-16s, well, the fighter jets here are flying over us and into Gaza. This is only going to get worse, and not a single person with whom I've spoken to, Alicia, here or in Jordan, has said otherwise. Everybody thinks this is the worst thing that's happened in Israel since 1973, and nobody thinks it's going to get better anytime soon.